All right, so we got a topic that I might get canceled for. So strap in and stay tuned because we're going to get right into it. Now, I don't know if you guys understand the level of pettiness that goes into being a Vikings fan. And I'm pretty sure that everyone has heard about the Joy Taylor situation, unless you've been living under a rock. If you don't know the Joy Taylor situation, I'll tell you. If you don't know who Joy Taylor is, I'll also tell you. So let me take a moment for anybody that doesn't know what's going on with Joy Taylor. Okay? Okay, don't be scared. You have a bye week. There's enough time to be scared this week or next week. This week we chilling. Okay? So I feel like everybody knows the Joy Taylor situation, right? Okay. So we know that Joy Taylor she was mentioned in a lawsuit that was filed by who was it filed by? Some woman, Nasreen Faraji or something like that. Okay. And it basically was filed by there you go, Tactical Sport. It was filed by this woman against Skip Bayless. So basically in this lawsuit, it alleges that Joy Taylor slept her way to the top, which whatever you want to say about that is, she did what she did and she took her opportunities. She did whatever. The most upsetting part about this situation was she allegedly told this woman that if she were caught hatching this plan, then she would allege. What is up, though, Lions fans? I interrupted today's video just to tell you a little bit about our sponsors. And our sponsors are none other than you, the people. If you want to become a supporter, a fan of the channel, just go ahead and scan that QR code right there on the screen. You don't have to do it, but what I would like you to do is smash that like button, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notifications so you can get notified when the Motor City Cats are back at it. And now, let's get back to the show. That the person that she was voluntarily sleeping with to get to the top was actually taking things by force. Okay, now that's the first part that I need to put out there. Okay, and it's important to what we're talking about with these Vikings fans. And I'm gonna read the tweets because I don't want to be in any way off base. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I don't want to leave anything out. So there is this fan. Her name is Viking Vanessa, and if you don't want your @ given out publicly, then don't talk on Twitter. I don't know. I don't think it's my job to protect you on Twitter. You're in a public platform and you're talking. So Viking Vanessa says, I had the unfortunate experience of attending the Lions and Vikings game on Sunday. This was my fourth stadium to visit this season, and the experience was horrendous. Some of these male Lions fans were raised by wild animals. Continued. I wear football shoulder pads, and I lost count of how many men hit my pads as I walked by. I had my horns taken from my head, and some good fans had to chase them down. I was physically blocked from being able to walk so that I could have obscenities screamed inches from my face. One man acted like he was going to punch me in the face and came centimeters from my mouth. I was called a biatch, a whore, a fat ass, and countless other names. Total classless crap. Security laughed and turned their back. You won, Detroit. No need to be assholes. Then she ats the NFL. At NFL, this was the experience for countless women in Detroit, including players' wives and girlfriends, who are sharing their experiences on TikTok. Something needs to be done for the safety of opposing female fans at Ford Field. Kelly Stafford energy is the first thing that we think. If you guys are not familiar with Kelly Stafford, she's a very famous, very French hashtag. If you know, you know, use the hashtag. Okay. Kelly Stafford, if you were living under a rock, made all types of accusations which made no damn sense about the Detroit Lions fans booing her children when she came back to Ford Field. Last year, we thought that we were only going to have one playoff game in Detroit because Brad Allen screwed us out of a victory in Dallas. But it worked out because Dallas got that ass beat, and we had two playoff games in Detroit. The two playoff games in Detroit, the only accusations that were levied were by Kelly Stafford, who said that we booed her children. It is a far cry from physical assault of females by males, which is what is being alleged here. It's all Vikings fans. The Vikings fans are also the people that said, who carried along the narrative, right? So it was started by Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams, and then it was carried on by the Vikings fans. They championed the Kirby is dirty movement. So how are these things related to Joy Taylor? I'm looking at both of them being in situations that they don't want to be in. For example, if it's Joy Taylor getting caught doing what she's doing, then she's going to say someone did something to her. And it's the Vikings fan situation. You got caught getting your ass beat. You got caught with the BTA. Now you have to levy accusations of nefarious behavior by the male fans in Detroit. With these situations, and it's the timing of it all, how are we to believe you? I'm not saying that 100% it did not happen, but with this very public situation that came out with Joy Taylor, and there people historically being able to make accusations and not face any scrutiny, I don't understand how I'm supposed to believe you in this situation, because no one has ever said it before. The Vikings fans, by all accounts, were very loud, very obnoxious. They were downtown in Detroit trying to get skull chants going across the city. Came in my stream talking about some skull, clap, clap, skull before the game started, or as the game was getting underway. Very silent after that, quiet as church mice. And now players' wives and girlfriends started a movement to talk about how poorly they were treated. And now random female Vikings fans are coming out of the woodworks to say, oh, it happened to me too. I just can't buy it. Call me insensitive, I'm just looking at evidence. So for Ford Field's been open since what, 2005? So for 20 years, this hasn't been a problem. And now just because we're 15-2 and we're the back-to-back, it's like act like you've been there before, right? We're the back-to-back NFC North champions. We've been there before. This game was for the NFC North, just like it was for the bye. We've been the NFC North champion before. We were actually defending our championship, if you didn't know. So it's not an act like you've been there before situation. So I just want to get you guys' opinions because I do not buy it. And that may just be me. I'll see what you guys have to say in the chat. Oh, Motor City Maniac, appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. Appreciate the share on the community YouTube page, man. Big Wolf Status says, I know what he's talking about or is about. No, it's not about the pregnant woman. So the pregnant woman is a different story. Apparently, a diehard Vikings fan, I think his name is Sir Death or something, claimed that his 8-month pregnant girlfriend was pushed down the stairs, or they tried to push her down the stairs. And as Braylon said, that you probably need to do a better job protecting your woman. You know, if she's 8 months pregnant, it's of course the hearsay situation is just like, I don't know if it's for clout, if you're that upset, if you're that angry about a game that you lost, because ultimately that's what it is. It's ultimately a game. We love it and it means a lot to us, but ultimately it's not something that you are participating in. Crowd noise, home field advantage, yes, that's something, but I just don't. What are the grounds on which we should believe you without concrete evidence in the wake of these other accusations that are floating around Twitter, and you are using Twitter to put out your opinion or your whatever you call it, your story? How am I to believe you? This is my question. Tactical Spork says that doesn't even sound remotely plausible. Also, boo them kids. All right, Brian Meadows. How come no other opposing fans, especially division rivals, have ever come out and said this before? This is a question or accusation. You see, this is what I mean, right? If it was something that happened all the time, like something much more lighthearted, the Los Angeles Rams fans aren't real people and they don't actually exist. Because when you go to LA, the other team's fans take over the stadium, right? So it's well documented that you guys are apathetic and you don't really care about the team, right? Well documented. It's well documented that the Bills Mafia, very, very passionate. Well documented that the Detroit Lions fans travel very well and they take over stadiums. Not well documented at all. The Detroit Lions fans harass females when you come to Detroit. Not documented, never before mentioned. As I said, Kelly Stafford energy, but to a much more nefarious degree. If you came for all the stats and none of the static, if you're trying to keep your Lions news pragmatic, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you can get notified when the Motor City Cats are back at it. And plus, you know you can't get enough of the victory buffs.